a player if he ends up staying. So finally, we'll finish up on the defensive side of the ball with a really, really impressive guy, and that is Tay Johnson out of Notre Dame. We saw him against Pitt, man. He was hard to miss very quickly, taking picks to the house, knocking guys back, flying all over the place. Multi-sport guy. It was interesting when Miami played Notre Dame the first game of the year and spent the whole year kind of breaking down the depth chart, and you hear about Stroman from Virginia Tech being that safety that's going to solidify this position. Ultimately, Johnson, his first name is actually Bronte, Tay Johnson. He got his opportunity after the season started, did not look back, tackling at an extremely high level, super athlete. Maybe the tackling and the physicality was a question coming out just because he was a multi-sport guy. He didn't see it, but I think that question has been answered. This is a very, very impressive athlete and player for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, just name search him on Twitter. You'll see the Notre Dame media has been gushing about this guy really all season, but especially after this week. And you see some of the numbers he put up, just a really complete game that he had this week. And obviously a difference-making play on that pick six for Notre Dame to score 2 touchdowns within the span of like 15 seconds off the clock, offensively and defensively. And it just feels like this is another one of those Notre Dame safeties, those big, physical Notre Dame safeties who are athletes. What was the tall 6'5" safety they got last year out of like Wake Forest or wherever Wake Forest or somewhere in North Carolina? You know who I'm talking about?
This is a high school kid they brought in?
Yeah. It was him, and I'll have to look. But
like obviously they got they got Kyle Hamilton a few years
Kyle
ago.
Hamilton, but they got a player.
I could say this past year they got Joey O'Brien, who's 6'3", 185 pounds from Pennsylvania. A lot of people thought he'd go to Penn State. The guy I saw in person at Battle. Actually, it was at Overtime Elite, OT7 Elite, which is a 7-on-7 tournament. They had Joey O'Brien, who's another tall, super athletic 5-star safety. So they're getting guys. Did you find it?
Jaden Blair.
There you go. So
Jaden
yeah,
Blair,
they
love
got
the
Dallas
size
Holden
of
too from
safety.
Florida as another tall, rangy defensive back. They've really loaded up the youth. We know Leonard Moore. He's obviously one of the young stars of college football, but man, their youth in general. This guy, 2024 player, so redshirt freshman out of Fort Wayne. Doesn't stop, man. They're doing some good work out there in South Bend when it comes to evaluating.
Yeah, it feels like every Notre Dame safety has to be like 6'2", or they're just like ignoring you. Jaden Blair's 6'5", but this is a guy like 4-star, top 200 recruit in 2024 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I feel like we're every week at least talking about one guy who's just like the pinnacle of being or just like a versatile athlete, whether it's playing both ways in football or playing multiple sports. This is a guy who played or started all 4 years at wide receiver and safety for his high school, recorded 139 catches, 2,286 yards, and 41 touchdowns at receiver across his 4 years. He also started 3 years up before his senior year at point guard for the basketball team, 19 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. And then he also ran track. He ran an 11.400 meter, 22 foot 2 inch long jump, and he was a part of one of the 8 fastest 4x1 relays in Indiana State history. So like this is like as good as it gets in terms of a multi-sport athlete out of high school. And he redshirted last year for Notre Dame. As you said, he took over early in the year in that starting spot at safety. And I like that you pointed this out because, there were some questions about him as a tackler, as a recruit. He really didn't have a lot of opportunities to make difficult or outstanding tackles in high school. Well, now he has a 91.0 tackling grade, which is top 5 among over 5,000 defensive players in the FBS this year. He's missed just 3.8% of his tackles. So I think he's answered that very clearly, answered that question. 4 picks, pick 6, 3 pass breakups. he's a freak, man. He's what it looks like, and Notre Dame probably got him another one at safety. It feels like.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to a play he made against Hassan Longstreet. I know there's a Twitter thread about it as well. I remember seeing it when it happened, which is they brought in USC brought in Longstreet to run, which I'm not sure he's that type of runner. He's probably more of just a quarterback that can run a little bit. That's a passer. But anyways, they brought him in for like a wildcat deal, and he was going to the sideline, and this dude came out of nowhere and just closed distance in 2 seconds and stopped it for minimal gain. So you can see the straight line speed. Makes sense that he's a sprinter. You see the change of direction, the size, and the coaching. Man, these guys coach him up like nobody else. Stroman was a solid player for Virginia Tech, but he wasn't like Delane, where it was like a spectacular guy. I think he was much more of a workman-like player. So you add a guy like this, and now you have basically an entire secondary of NFL day one, day two type talents, and that's why Notre Dame's one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you pointed that out because that is, I mean, there were a lot of that was one of the first posts I saw whenever I looked up his name on Twitter, just the Hassan Longstreet. Uh, I mean, he tracks him, I think, from the opposite hash. He rolls out to the side. He's on like the 4 yard line, and all of a sudden, uh, Tay Johnson's just right there immediately. I think he gives up like 1 yard, but he's got good coverage instincts. He seems to be physical against the run. This seems like a complete safety. I don't know if he's like a guy who would declare after his 3rd year in college, after redshirting last year. If I'm him, I'm spending as long as possible in that Notre Dame safety factory because the way they've been churning him out these past few years with Kyle Hamilton, Xavier Watts. So I'd stick around as long as possible, soak up everything I can.
Randy Ellison asks, is there a day y'all try to go live? We're trying to work on a schedule right now. I mean, this was a good timely one because the James Franklin news broke, but
Yeah,
yeah, we'll let you know, man. Our schedules, we got to get this thing more as a more regular basis now with the Think. We're gonna do this on a regular basis, especially leading up to portal because the portal is like there are like so much stuff happening every single day that you need to just kind of stay on it, keep on track so you know what's happening in the world of college football. But again, appreciate everybody joining us. We're gonna like and subscribe to Group Chat Sports. Check out, we'll have all these as individual videos. We'll be doing shorts on there. Of course, we'll be going live and giving you the latest. So it's only going to get more intense as we get the coaching search, portal search. It's going to be hard to keep track of all these guys. Right now, we're in kind of the catch a rising star category of the schedule, but eventually it's going to be about portal, about coaching changes, and everything else. So again, like and subscribe to the show. Think, appreciate you, man. Good luck.
appreciate
My
it.
condolences on James Franklin.
We'll see.
All right, guys. See you later. Like and subscribe.